Thank you very much. My name is Krzysztof Maurer. I work for Comarch, a global IT vendor. I'm responsible for its operations in Southeast Asia. And today I want to share our observations regarding the digital transformation. Please, next slide. In many banks, there are two ways of digital transformation. In the first way, banks usually bought software from vendors to automate processes and cut costs. It was good at the time because it brought many savings, but after 10, 15 years, bank realized that monolithic solutions that they bought are very resistant to change. Please switch to the next slide. And one more. One more slide, please. Okay. And it takes much work to adapt to the fast-changing requirements of the modern world. So the new trend appeared. Please, next slide. In second way of digital transformation, it's more about composable platforms. So not having these applications which are a solution to a problem, but having applications which can be connected to provide even better value for your clients and employees. We observe that most companies now want to become so-called composable businesses. Please, next slide. It means that you want to create a new capabilities from scratch only sometimes, but instead you would connect with the pieces you already had via APIs and make a new solution out of that. So if you are a company deciding on digital transformation, the natural question now is to build or to buy such a platform. So please, next slide. There are always two sides of the coins. Next slide, please. So first of all, if you want to control, you will go for the build option, but it requires a lot of resources, money and time. It is not for everyone, especially when time is of the essence, or if you are lagging behind your competitors. On the other hand, if you want to buy such a solution, you would go for something off the shelf. But then again, to make a unique value proposition, you'd have to pay a lot to the vendor to make customizations. There is also a third way to make digital platforms, to use a low-code solution, but it is challenging to have ready-made modules on those platforms, and you will still need to build a lot from scratch. Next slide, please. As none of those approaches is perfect, we designed a collaboration-focused digital platform combining the best buying and building elements. We want this platform to become the operating system for your digital transformation. Next slide, please. Everyone has a smartphone in their pocket. In smartphones, the operating system controls all elements and ties them together. There are things like user interface, file storage, communication between applications and users, security with biometrics, configuration, notifications, and the ability to run applications. These are all elements tied by operating system, so they are coherent and put together. And that's what we want to gain with an open platform. Next slide, please. Let's imagine you have a core that would be a base for the digital platforms that you would be developing for your clients or your employees, including things like identity, access management, security framework, and different kinds of API gateways. All of those elements that are necessary to create a modern system that would easily integrate with other solutions. But of course, the operating system is not enough. Putting some business on top would be the best to deliver the value for your clients. Next slide, please. So you can pick and buy the ready-to-use business models that interest you. On top of that, you have development tools to build and enhance the microservices solutions. Finally, take ownership of parts of the solution so your team of IT and business can work together to deliver new values continuously. Next slide, please. This all seems exciting, but there is one more thing that we always say to our clients. When going through digital transformation, you need to focus on value. This next slide. You may encounter those overly enthusiastic chief digital officers who say, let's migrate everything to microservices and let's do it now and finish in 6 months. but in reality, it's going to take a bit of time. So what we usually advise is that you should keep on governance. Next slide, please. So first of all, you need to design the value you want to achieve to be sure you will get a return of your investment. Building from scratch usually takes years before you will have a return on it. Secondly, you need to have KPIs to keep track of your project. Thirdly, you need to go live quickly. And finally, it's all about adaptation. So you need to be able to change to circumstances and you need to be able to do it fast. Next slide, please. So to summarize, one more, during digital transformation, there are three types of changes we are facing. First is the obvious technological change. Moving from monoliths to microservices is a huge step. Secondly, is an organizational change because it's no longer business versus IT, but teams working together to deliver some values, which is the third point. Value change is about focusing on what you can achieve quickly with the greatest return on investment. Okay, so thank you very much.